Joining me now for more, New Jersey Congressman and member of the Homeland Security Committee, Congressman Jeff Van Drew, with us this morning. Good to see you, Congressman.
Good to see you as well. Thank you.
So the Wall Street Journal, with an interesting headline over the weekend, it was disorder at the border and in the GOP. So two parts here. First, the article talks about how the majority of these migrants are processed and then basically released into America. The majority of them disappear, never to be seen again. The Journal also speculating that a split in the Republican Party in the House might make this issue difficult to confront in 2023. How does your party get past that?
Oh, no, we have to get past that. We've got to make some real decisions. We've got to get some real work done. There's no question we have to get past that. These are important issues. And by the way, not only this issue, which is extremely important, do we have to make some significant legislation come forward. We have to speak out about it. You know, we need to actually go back to the policies that did exist. And what were those policies? When you caught somebody, you put them back. It was a stay in Mexico policy. There were many different policies. There was Title 42, which ensured that people couldn't be coming over literally in the millions. We had some of the lowest numbers ever. We can go back to those numbers. We first need to come up with good legislation, good ideas, good initiatives. And if we're going to have some intra-party disagreements, that's fine. But God help us if we just let that stop us from getting done what needs to be done. And I'm firmly committed to that.
Congressman, over the weekend, West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin implied that impeaching Alejandro Mayorkas in the new year might be unfair. Do you agree with that assessment?
Well, anybody, you know, I've about had it with actually Joe Manchin. You know, he's more moderate than, I guess, some of the people there. He pretends to be more moderate than he is. I don't mean to be mean-spirited, but either you are a moderate, a conservative individual that represents your constituency, or you're not. And I don't think he is, whether it was Build Back Better, which he eventually went for and made a bad deal for America and made a bad deal for himself, or whether here's an example of the worst Homeland Security chief we've ever had, the worst director, who was literally purposefully lying and allowing these people to cross the border. If there's anybody that should be impeached, it's this individual, or at the very least fired. I mean, it is just horrific what he's done to our country, and I don't know how anybody could say that. The only thing that's unfair is that he is still in that position, doing more and more harm to the United States of America. And, you know, he should know that. And so certainly Joe Manchin should absolutely realize that and speak out.
We'll keep a close eye on that in the new year. If he is impeached, he'd be the first cabinet official to be impeached since the 1870s. So it hasn't happened in a long time. I want to pivot now. Arizona Senator Kyrsten Sinema deciding to leave the Democratic Party. She became an independent for now. You did the same thing in 2019. You were a Democrat representing your district in New Jersey. You became a Republican. What was that experience like? And what do you think this means for the Senate heading into 2024?
Well, it does take some of the wind out of their sails. When somebody says, I'm no longer a Democrat, I'm going to be an independent. Now, what kind of independent is she going to be? That's what we have to find out. Bernie Sanders is an independent, and it's different than what I did. I was unhappy with what we were doing to our energy portfolio. I was unhappy with what we were doing to our border, what we were doing to our police, what we were doing to our military, what we were doing to our educational system. Just every step of the way, this administration is the worst administration that I think any of us can remember in anybody's lifetime. Literally, we are in more trouble in the country than we have been since the Civil War, all due to this administration and this majority. So I made the move. I said, you know what? I'm going to go from the majority party, which I was, never happened before in history, to the minority party, because I believe so strongly in my heart in what we have to fight for. Now, what we have to find out with Kyrsten Sinema, does she really believe in her heart that she has to stand up and fight and stop all these things I mentioned? Or is it just going to be a little work around the edges and nothing that is as significant as it should be.
Yeah.
She should have become a Republican.
Yeah,
she's a moderate conservative.
That's what we're watching for. You went from Democrat to Republican. She's gone from Democrat to independent. Will she make the conversion complete and go from Democrat to independent to Republican over the next several months?
I'll reach out to her and support her, but if she doesn't, then we need to have a Republican win those seats.
Yep. We'll see what happens in 2024. It could be a red on purple matchup. Sir, great to see you. New Jersey Congressman Jeff Van Drew, thank you.
Merry Christmas to you and all your listeners and viewers.
Same to you. Thank you, sir.